have to remember that when the Spanish arrived, they tried to destroy all this. That's why no one knew about it. There was a Catholic priest named Diego de Landa that burned every Mayan book he could find. Because of that one person, only 3 Mayan codices exist today. He burned them all because he said they had nothing but the lies of the devil. And he wrote that it caused great horror and grief to the Mayans when he burned their books. So he burned all their records. We have no idea what they said. Whenever they came into a site, they would destroy the most important building that was there and use its stones to build a Spanish church or Spanish cathedral, Catholic cathedral. And they tried to literally culturally destroy the natives. Either they accepted Christianity or they were just slaughtered and tortured. And so all this stuff was forgotten about. The Spanish didn't care about this. They just tried to destroy it. And so that's why the mid-1800s, people still didn't know about it. It was just all ruled by the jungle. It had been forgotten and left. The natives knew to some degree, but even still there are hidden cities. Even archaeologists agree there are dozens, countless of hidden cities all throughout here we don't even know about yet.
So describe what a cenote is first.
A cenote is a sinkhole. The Yucatán Peninsula is a limestone shelf that geologically has rather recently risen from the floor of the ocean. It's very porous and there are almost no rivers. But there are underground rivers and they sometimes eat through to the surface and cause a sinkhole. In Spanish they're called cenotes. And they're a source of fresh water. So the cenotes in the Yucatán Peninsula were very important because of the water supply. And most civilizations, most large sites were built around a cenote or sometimes various cenotes. This is the first one we've come across here in Chichén. It's called the cenote Xtolok. It's a smaller one. This is one they use for their water supply.
So this is the tomb of the high priest?
Yeah.
You can see the feathered serpent going up this.
You can even see the
head.
The tongue coming out of the mouth, the fangs right there.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
And this corner used to be at the top of the ossuary, or the temple of the high priest up there. So it's been reconstructed down here. You get a good close-up view of the masks of chalk. There were 4 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 originally at each corner. And this is the nose of chalk. There's that's the mouth, the teeth, and the eyes. Again, chalk was the rain deity, especially in the Puc region. This is known as el caracol in Spanish, which means the snail. It's called that because of the winding staircase that goes up. It's thought this was an observatory, the top part. The Mayans, of course, had very precise calculations of the movements of the stars and the seasons and the sun. And so things are aligned with various astrological events, and they could observe them from here. Serpent leading up.
Yeah.
And there's an entrance, a winding staircase. A lot of times...
so winding staircase just goes up to the top, eh?
Yeah, yeah. And with this building and also a lot of others, the astrological alignments were really a lot of them towards Venus.
Oh, cool.
Venus, the rising of Venus, is associated with Quetzalcoatl rising triumphantly from the Mayan underworld.
Just another shot. All the heads. There's something up there.
So we can see the design here, this crisscross pattern represents a mat. And to the Mayans that meant authority. They refer to themselves as the lords of the mat. So that design there represents authority. And again, we also have representations of the nose of chalk and the mouth, the face of chalk. Again, very elephant-like looking nose. And the whole design here is very similar to what you find in the Puc region south around Uxmal. De las monjas, or the nunnery by the Spanish, because it reminded them of a convent. So they call this the convent, and that's why they call that building there the church. So a lot of times you have these silly names that the Spanish gave them, which of course are no relation at all to what these things really were. So I believe it's this place here was used as the dwelling place of a high dignitary. And you can see the seated figure up at the top.
Yeah.
We can see there's some of the mat design right here. Very nice carved border that's actually held up very well. There's oh wow, it goes off this way as well. A lot of times these were built in different levels. So there's an earlier level that was built on the bottom, and then throughout the centuries they built other levels on top and on top. We may be looking at different levels of construction here, and that's a huge bug too, a cave cricket or something.
Right above your head.
So what you see, oh yeah, I'm getting out of here. Hey, right by you. Go over to the right and see the corner, the sharp corner of the doorway.
Yeah.
You can see that, all right?
Dude, you can see right in here. There's a little.
And you can see the construction around it, right? How it was built once, and then you have other construction of the rougher stones that goes around it. Okay? So again, most of these large buildings have various levels. As you go inside, you're seeing the earlier construction. This is the largest ball court in Mesoamerica, and what's unusual is the rings are still there. The ring on that end and the ring on that end. Most of them have fallen down. The game was played with a hard rubber ball, and the contestants could not hit it with their hands or with their feet. And so again, it had to pass through the ring there. Some accounts I've read said that the head of the winning team was sacrificed at the end of the game. Some accounts say it was the head of the losing team that was cut off at the end of the game.
Sometimes all a bunch of balls.
And we see depictions here of the players. And some things I've read, it says they're depictions of Toltec warriors. And so you can see they're very heavily padded, armored along there. In some cases, right here is a good one. Here's one where the head has been cut off, and there are blood spouting from the neck and becoming serpents right there. So that would be the one who was sacrificed right there. We can see in this circular area there's a profile of a skull. And we can see this guy here with a knife. You can see the head with the nose blood. You can see in his hand there's a knife right there.
All right.
This is the temple of the Jaguar. So we see the Jaguar right there. Inside, and this would have been covered in stucco as well, you can see the remains of the friezes. You can see a lot of color. There's orange, there's red, green, and this is supposed to depict scenes of battle.
More detail on it.
Yeah, again, very fine detail here. Very fine detail. Look at that. Okay, this is a great one here. You can see the face. This is a bearded Toltec warrior. You can see the beard. There's the nose, the eye, and the beard. It's almost like the lines of mustache around it, and a beard right here. You can see that there. Tzompantli is a Toltec name. It comes from northern Mexico. You can see all the skulls along here. There are wooden stakes all along the top where they put severed heads of people who were sacrificed or conquered in war. And so the whole thing would have been covered on top around with skulls on stakes, and that's carved into the bottom as well. So this is seen as a Toltec influence. So this comes from the culture of northern Mexico that you see here in Chichén Itzá. Around this area as well, you see actually right over here. This is interesting. And so here's the jaguar. It actually looks like someone almost dressed as a jaguar. It looks very humanistic. There's the heart in his hand. There he's eating it. There's the side of the face. It almost looks like a person in a jaguar costume.
The better one.
You can also see right here is an eagle. Here's an eagle. Here's the beak. Here's the talons holding a human heart as well. So the eagle feasting upon the heart and the jaguar feasting upon the heart.
All right.
This is the cenote sagrado, the sacred cenote, the largest one here at Chichén Itzá. In this time, this is where a lot of their sacrifices went down. Their skeletons have been found around here that are the results of sacrifices. Other objects as well, carved objects have been thrown in there. What's interesting is also there was a gold disc, a thin gold plate with carven just glyphs and writings on it, crumpled into a ball that had been thrown down there as well. So a lot of artifacts have been found from here. Archaeologists throughout the years have tried to dredge this, and they found a lot, but the water being a cenote just keeps coming back in and coming back in. So this was not their water supply, but it was where the sacrifices, whether objects or people, were thrown down in here. And just so you know, the cenote was viewed as the entrance to Xibalba, the Mayan underworld. And so that's why it had such an importance for them. So they were throwing the sacrifices down there for the gods of the underworld. But they viewed these, especially since there were underground caves went all through this, kind of viewed that as being the entrance to the Mayan underworld. And so that's what these are.
Very cool.